Delays, strikes, high ticket prices and overcrowding. This is what you probably think of when you think of the British Rail network. But today, we're off to Blackpool North from Bournemouth as we go on the first of many British Rail adventures. Let's roll the intro. Welcome to the first full episode of British Rail Adventures. I am your presenter today, Aaron, and with this journey we take a trip from Bournemouth Central all the way up to Blackpool North. There wasn't as many points where I could film in person, so please bear with me, but that will change in future episodes. The second stop on our journey today was Salisbury Station. We were originally going to go straight from Southampton up to Bristol Temple Meads, but there was a train already waiting platform 4 at Southampton Central, so we hopped on as far as Salisbury. As you can see here, a train departing from platform 3, heading towards London Waterloo via Basingstoke. And as you can see on the right down there is the train we arrived on, and arriving into the platform now is a Great Western Railways Class 166 with its unrefurbished first Great Western interior, and this will take us as far as Bristol Temple Meads, where we will change for a train onwards towards Birmingham New Street. As you see the Class 802 leaving towards Penzance, we sit here at Westbury for a few minutes just while we wait for this to clear our path. And as you can see, these trains can quickly clear their section, but unfortunately, from personal experience, I wouldn't recommend riding on them if you can help it, because the seats aren't very comfortable. I'm not sure if this is down to Great Western's choice or Hitachi's choice, but the Lumo sets, who are also owned by the first group, are much more comfortable. But we'll be setting off very shortly. As you'll see, we're going to head through the countryside towards Bath, and I'll join you again when we hit Bristol. Next stage of our journey will take us from the beautiful Bristol Temple Meads station all the way up to Birmingham New Street. And as you can see here, a Great Western Castle Class HST set is heading on its way to Cardiff all the way from Penzance. These sets were originally introduced in the 70s by British Railways, then later adopted by the privatised firm First Great Western, and now Great Western Railway, and these sets are currently looking at their final months working on the mainline network before they're retired. This set here will continue to travel on for the rest of the day. I'm not sure if this is one of the ones about to go out of service, but in a future edition of British Rail Adventures we will be riding on one the full length of the line. And as you can see here, it passes all Class 158 coming back in towards Bristol Temple Meads, but this isn't the one we're getting. We're going to be getting a cross-country Super Voyager Class 221 all the way up to Birmingham New Street, and I'll be giving a little bit of information a little bit on, as we will be climbing the Licky Incline, one of the most infamous inclines on the British Railway network. This is Bristol Temple Meads, and if you want to see more about this station, I do have another video from south to west. I'll link it here so you can watch a bit more of trains coming in and out here. As our train thunders through Bromsgrove Station, we begin our ascent up the Licky Incline. This section of line here between Bromsgrove and Barnet Green is the steepest gradient on the UK rail network. An average gradient of 1 in 37, it proved a challenge for many steam engines back in the day, often resulting in double heading or calling for the help of a banking engine, the most famous of which being Big Bertha, an 010 steam locomotive built by the Midland Railway specifically for helping trains get over the peak. This engine, however, continued into British Rail days, where it finally bowed out of service when diesels took over. To this day, local hauled freights and passenger services still need the help of a banking engine, while multiple unit trains such as the one we're on now can easily make the climb. Another fun fact about the Licky Incline, it was also the inspiration for the Reverend W. Awdry to create Gordon's Hill on the fictional railway of the island of Sodor in the Railway series. So here at Birmingham New Street, we did see this Class 66 running light engine going through. I don't really have much to say here at the moment, as I'm not too sure about what to say, but I know I will cover this station a bit more in a future episode of British Rail Adventures. But for now, listen to 323 leaving. It sounds amazing. Now at Preston, our penultimate station, and as you can see here, the Class 390 Pendolino by Avanti is just leaving. This train brought us all the way up from Birmingham New Street. It's a lovely train to ride on, but however, I do have one criticism with Avanti. I know they have a high first class ratio on these trains, but I understand they want to do reservations and everything, but when you have a fully reserved train and you make the only coach non-reserved, the one that has the least seating capacity, on a service that runs from London Euston all the way up to Glasgow Central, it can feel very claustrophobic on these trains. It was very hard to find a seat when we got on at Birmingham New Street. And again, I know I probably should have reserved a seat, but that's just a little gripe I have. But going on now, our train to Blackpool is arriving, which is a Northern Rail Class 331. Never actually ridden on these trains before, same with the Class 390. They have ironing board seating, but it actually wasn't that bad compared to the likes of the Great Western IET or the Thameslink 700s. It's actually quite comfortable, and this takes on our final length of the journey to Blackpool North. And we are here at Blackpool North. Unfortunately, I couldn't get many shots on the... well, no shots on the platform at this station. This is because they operate similar to a coach station where you can only go on the platforms once your train is due. But it's a lovely little terminus station, and being back in Blackpool is absolutely amazing. Now, I know we're mainly focusing on the trains here, but why don't we just take 2 seconds to go and see what's around Blackpool? Let's cue the montage, shall we? I hope you enjoyed this first episode of British Rail Adventures. And as we come to the end of this episode now, let's take a look at what you can expect in the next few episodes. Coming soon to British Rail Adventures, we duck and dive going on the London Underground as we travel the subsurface lines all across the network. We'll also be taking a lovely stroll through the country as we ride the Swanage Railway from Swanage to Norden. And finally, another episode we'll have coming up is we'll be travelling on the branch line from Eastleigh to Portsmouth Harbour. Hope to see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of British Rail Adventures.